YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back. A little under a week away until the 2019 NFL season kicks off, and I got my final predictions for the year for you guys. This will be separated in a few different videos. In this video, I'm going through every single AFC division and giving you my final placements. We'll get to the NFC, into playoffs and Super Bowl predictions as well, in depth for all of these. A few things could change the next couple days with roster cuts and mainly trades, big-time trades I'm looking for, so we may have to revisit. And then during the season, we will have full coverage with picks for every single game every week, recaps, power ranks. Hopefully you can join us for that. We do have some cool things available. You check out that link at the top of your screen, and there's a link towards the top of the description, patreon.com/thegoathouse. You can get in our private Discord chat. Some of you are already in it. You can possibly join it. Constant NFL discussions and debates in there going on right now. We can discuss during live games as well. Not too late to join our NFL Pick'ems League. More on that in that same Patreon link, and plenty more you can get access to. Pretty cool. Appreciate you very much if you just check it out. And appreciate you very much if you can subscribe to the channel. We got 40K sub goal by the end of this year. So please help us get there. Like I said, we'll have full coverage during the NFL season. So you're going to want to subscribe. You're going to want to turn on notifications. Click that like button. Check out our Twitter. All that will help. Really appreciate you guys and your support. Let's start with the AFC East. Why not? We're going to go 4 down up to 1, I should say. So coming in at 4th place for me, I got the Miami Dolphins. It's no secret. They're going in the rebuild route. The thing I do like about the Dolphins is their secondary. I do like their secondary. They could add a couple more pieces. Xavier Howard, huge fan of Xavier Howard. Big-time playmaker. And I think he'll become a lockdown corner because how good of a playmaker he is. And I like their linebacker unit, but they sound like they're trying to trade Kiko Alonso. Maybe they trade him by the time you're listening to this. So that could be interesting. They need pass rush. They need defensive line. They need offensive line. They do have Laramie Tunsil, but that's about it. They made a couple trades for depth guys. And they don't really have enough playmakers on the offensive side of the ball quite yet, too. Fitzpatrick starting week 1. They're not going to get anywhere with these quarterbacks right now. Maybe with Rosen in the future. Maybe they draft one, but they're on the rebuild route. No surprise there. Coming in at number 3, I went with the New York Jets. I still think it's a process. They're heading in the right direction. Sam Darnold's got a bright future. I just think people can slow the roll a little bit. It's going to take some time. Turnovers don't just disappear. You can take them down a little bit over time. But I still think he'll cost them some games with that. And I still think he'll turn the ball over the years. He will figure it out and also get better as a big-time thrower. So heading in the right direction, especially adding, Le'Veon Bell. They're working on the offensive line. They could use another big-time receiver, I think. And then the defense aside, what's holding them back is the pass rush. Very good safety duo, very good inside linebackers, even though Williamson's out. Very good defensive line. They need pass rush on the defense side. The defense is heading in that elite direction of the future. I really think so. So then it's pretty obvious who 1 and 2 is for the AFC East. Don't have to spend a lot of time on this division. But I got the Bills at 2. Their defense is what puts them ahead of the Jets. Yeah, the Jets' defense is looking real good. Missing that pass rush, though. I would like the Bills to add another pass rusher. A guy like Murphy could step up, I guess, this year. I do like Jerry Hughes as their main pass rusher. Love their linebacker unit. Really like it. Secondary is very solid as well. Very good safety duo, much like the Jets. Offense, they're not going to score a lot of points. They're not going to win a whole bunch of games off because of their offense. But their defense, we still see, even though it's an offensive league, we still see defense winning games, possibly winning championships. We've seen the Bears come out of nowhere last year because of their defense. So maybe the Bills can do that, and they could be a playoff candidate here. The Patriots, number 1 in the division, because they're the best team in the division, because they have the best coach in the NFL, because they have Tom Brady. They're not giving up this division. I got them at 1. I don't think I need to explain any further. If I had to point out something that if I worry about something about the Patriots, pass rush. It could be at an all-time low for the Patriots this year. Hopefully Michael Bennett could play his game. We're moving on to the AFC North. Interesting division here. Pretty obvious who I have at the bottom here. It's the Bengals. I think they got really good young talent. I've loved their draft classes the last 2 years. Love them. Really good talent on defense mainly. But, looking at offense, I got Tyler Boyd I like a lot. Joe Mixon, Travion Williams. I love that draft pick. And then Ryan Finley's a good pick too. But so they got some really good young talent on offense. Really love the way they've been drafting on defense. Their time is just not yet. Some injuries like A.J. Green, and on the offensive line. The offensive line's a little rough right now towards the bottom part of the league, and that's the main reason it's holding them back. And then, I do think even though defense heading in the right direction, they'll get up some yards. But again, the team's heading in the right direction. You got to identify the quarterback of the future, I should say. Number 3, I actually got the Cleveland Browns at 3, and still a playoff candidate here for me. The Browns will be a good team. I'm not saying they're going to be a bad team at all by having them at 3. It's a good division. I think a high-powered offense. I would love to see more of that no huddle. Hopefully they keep on going with that. Hopefully we get more looks on that in the regular season. And they can win this division. They can definitely win this division. I'm not ruling that out whatsoever. I just got them at 3. The reason being is there's still a lot of young talent on the team, young guys that even if they're very talented, example be your quarterback Baker Mayfield. I like Baker Mayfield a lot, but there's still going to be the moments where, maybe he's a little off his game because he's young. That's what happens, So I think that could be the difference in a very tight division. So I do like the Browns, though. This offense could be very fun. And then Myles Garrett's candidate for leading the league in sacks. They also got Sheldon Richardson up there, pretty good linebacker unit. So who knows? This team definitely can win the division. But I went a little different route here. I got the Ravens at 2, and then the Steelers at 1. The Ravens at 2, I like this defense, even while losing some key guys. They always have insane depth. They're very well coached on the defensive side. Martindale's a hell of a coach. Unique defense. I still think they got big-time players, and big-time players will always step up for this team and this defense. Offense, I think they're unique. I'm one of those Lamar Jackson supporters, I guess. People, hate on him a little bit. I think he's a pretty darn good quarterback. He's not going to be elite. He's not going to be the one that goes out and, just takes over and wins all these playoff games. But I guess his offense is what could do that. Him being in there changes the entire offense. That can throw some teams off, but I think a mixture of that and the defense kind of wins them games and gets them to the 2 seed, or the second place in the division, I should say. I do like they added more receivers, too, so I do think the offense gets better because of that as well, and they add Mark Ingram. But for first place, in the AFC North, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they bounce back. They got a really good pass rush on the defensive side. They could get better in the secondary. They got a really good pass rush, so I like that. They can stop the run as well. Offense, I do worry about Big Ben a little bit. He's had his turnovers. That's kind of the turnovers are kind of going up over the last couple of years. So, and you've seen him cost some games last year, so hopefully he can manage that. But he does throw the ball a ridiculous number of times during the game, so I guess that could be the reason for it. I do think playmakers step up here. I do like James Conner, and they have Jalen Samuels, and they add Benny Snell. At receiver, I think James Washington steps up. I think he has a big year. I think Juju has a big year. I do take a look at the schedules during this, too. I do think they have a favorable schedule compared to the rest of the teams, too, so that is a big reason why they are number 1. I think a team like the Ravens, they have a much harder schedule, in my opinion. So I go game by game and, look at the schedules during this. If you're part of that Patreon group or the YouTube memberships like I talked about, there's links in the description. You'll be getting a video soon on exact records, and we can go game by game and look at how I got to these placements. But that is my AFC North. We got 3 playoff candidates from the AFC North. Onto the AFC South. Wide open division now. Wide open division. I still think anybody can win it. I'm going to break it down, though. I do got the Colts at 4. And I'm not thinking the Colts are the same as 2 years ago at Brissett. I do like Brissett. I liked him out of NC State. I think he's got a lot of potential. I think they're much better this year than that year. I think basically all 4 of these teams are pretty much around the same record. I really do. I just got the Colts last because, I still think Brissett has a little growing to do. I think he grew a little bit since the last time we saw him starting, but I still think more can happen. I also think the timing of the Luck retirement, I should say, was pretty rough. I think it does a little damage to the team a little bit. I think it gets in their heads a little bit, so I think that could cost them a little bit. And I don't know if their defense plays as good as it did last year. I was kind of saying this even before I mean, that has nothing to do with luck anyways, but I was saying it before. I think their defense doesn't play as well as they did down the stretch last year. Early in the year, I guess it depends on who they play, but early in the year, they were giving up all kinds of points. So, it's not all because of the luck thing, and that hurts big time, but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe their defense steps up and plays the same or better than what it did last year. Coming in at the 3 spots, I got the Houston Texans. I think there's a lot of holes on this team. They're gonna have a much tougher schedule than they did last year, and they did streak last year. They went on that big streak that pretty much got them that first place spot. A lot of squeakers, a lot of close games. Will that happen again? While having, I think, more holes. Look at the running back position as of now. Maybe they can make a trade. You look at the offensive line. I don't think it got any better, really. I don't think it got better whatsoever. I think it's about the same. It could even be worse. It's a shame because Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, and there's other receivers like Will Fuller, if healthy. It's a great connection there, and it's a team that should be better when you have that connection. And you look at the defensive side, it's pretty much J.J. Watt getting after the quarterback. Clowney, don't expect him to play for the Texans. If he does, still not a whole lot there, but no big-time playmakers anywhere else. You got a couple inside linebackers that do a very good job stopping the run. Don't really consider those playmakers. They need more on the D-line. They need more pass rush. Their secondary is pretty balanced, but they could use more. They can use a big-time playmaker. Justin Reed could be that. I just don't know if there's enough on this team, but maybe there's enough to win this division. Like I said, this division's wide open. And the top 2 spots, I went with Jaguars at 2, Jacksonville Jaguars. This team's pretty rangy. It's pretty rangy. It can win this division. It can finish 4th in this division. It's really on how does Nick Foles convert over, transition over. Is he the same Nick Foles? Other question is the coaching. Who's calling plays? I hope DeFilippo's not calling plays. Bad play caller. So a lot of questions there. They do have a really good pass rush. I am a believer in Nick Foles. I do think he's good. I think Fournette's very good, but it's almost like he needs a new team, but I guess we need more of an opportunity here. It just hasn't really, I don't know, is his head all the way in it with the Jaguars, with the staff maybe? I don't know what it is. I do think their receiver unit is actually solid. I think people sleep on it a little bit. I do think they have holes at linebacker and at interior defensive line. Maybe at safety too. They got top-tier cornerback duo, maybe the best corner in football in Jalen Ramsey, and like I said, which could be an elite pass rush. So those things kind of make up for those holes on defense. But all those things I explained, I'm kind of back and forth, and that's why they're one of the most rangy teams to predict for this year. And I got them at 2 because I don't know if I really trust the coaching and play calling is the main thing. In kind of the first year of Nick Foles with that. I do believe in Nick Foles. I do think he's a good quarterback. I do think he's deserving of this opportunity in the contract. It's just how will it work right away. The Titans at 1, the reason being I think they're the most balanced team here. The reason they just missed out of the playoffs last year is because of injuries. I do think they have the depth now, mainly at the quarterback position. If Mariota goes down, Tannehill's a darn good backup. I mean, he's not going to go win consecutive playoff games. I'm not saying that. But he'll get them to the playoffs, I think. Like I said, I think they got balance. I think they got a really good defense, too. Defense was getting better and better at the end of last year. I really can't point out any big-time holes on this team, and there's a lot of good depth, a lot of good young players. So I do like the Titans. Really, the Titans should win this division. I'd say that they should win this division. It's theirs, I think, right now. But again, I think at the same time, it's kind of wide open because the Titans been known for disappointing, kind of choking at times over the last few years. So I guess you never know, but really they should win this division. It's theirs. It should be theirs, but will it be? That's the question. AFC West it's time to place the AFC West here. At 4, I got the Raiders. I like the Raiders offense. I think the offense really picks it up. But why at 4? I think the defense still struggles a little bit. It's heading in the right direction. But mainly, I think the other 3 teams are just better. The Raiders could be a good team. I just think this division's very good. Very good, and I think these other 3 teams are just better. That's really it. Raiders are heading in the right direction. I like the coaching. Offense will be good. I mean, maybe it ends up being even better than I think. People were telling me I was a little too high on them when ranking the offenses, but what if it's even better than that? And then I guess we're talking a candidate for trying to push for the playoffs already. So we'll see. At 3, I got the Broncos, and I still think a playoff candidate for me because I think they have an elite defense. Elite pass rush, elite defense. I can't really find any holes. Maybe they can get better in some spots, but I don't really consider anything a hole. Great new defensive coach. How much will they have on offense, though? How many points will they put up? I think it could be a good fit for Flacco. So maybe he can do better than people think, but still, how much points are they going to put up? Will it be enough, especially in this division? Really good offenses in this division, and they got to be 4th in offense, but I still think defense wins games, can win divisions, can win playoff games, can win a championship still, even though it's an offensive league. And this defense could do even more than this. It's just a really, really good division. And then 2 and 1, I got the Chargers at 2 and the Chiefs at 1. The Chargers I worry about because the Chargers always worry me in the beginning of the season. They always start off a little slow. They're missing Derwin James. We saw what happened in the Patriots game. I think teams can throw downfield on the Chargers. I think they can. They got solid corners, but I think they can throw downfield, especially with Derwin James out. But they do have a heck of a pass rush if healthy. Can Phillip Rivers? Is there any decline in Phillip Rivers? I'm not saying he will or he won't. Just saying it's something in the back of my mind because it can happen. Can Phillip Rivers decline? And that could be an issue for them. Then a team like the Broncos or the Raiders can pass them. But I think a really complete team, I think a balanced team with elite talent. You don't see that. Balanced teams with elite talent. So that's why the Chargers are up here. But why not 1? Like I said, I think maybe Derwin James could be the difference, but the Chiefs' offense is going to be something. At one point I thought maybe teams can start figuring out. Maybe they can. Maybe they can slow it down a little, but not enough. I still think it's easily the best offense in football. And I like the Chiefs winning this division. Patrick Mahomes with, I'm a believer in Damian Williams with those other running backs. The receivers got better because they added McCole Hardman. Travis Kelce being the best tight end in football. I think their defense gets better too. A lot of depth at the pass rush position on top of them being very solid at pass rush and D-line, all the way across. Adding Frank Clark. I didn't like it right when it happened just because what they gave up, but I'm really liking it now. It's just something that's I'm changing my mind on a little bit. They'll give up some pass yards still, but I think the defense could be, it's not going to be great or anything. It's going to be better, I think, than last year. And that could be the difference, especially with Mahomes in his second year. It's actually a possibility he can get better because it is his second year playing. 3rd year in the NFL, 2nd year starting and playing. So that could be scary. So I have the Chiefs winning that division. Very good division. So yeah, that's my AFC division predictions. We're going to do, I'm not done yet. I'm not done, actually. We're kind of recapping everything. Division winners, I got the Patriots, Steelers, Titans, Chiefs. That's just an order of that's not seedings right there. That's just order of how I broke them down, division order. And then potential wild cards. These are the teams I strongly considered to get into the wild card spots. You got the Buffalo Bills, Cleveland Browns, Baltimore Ravens, Jacksonville Jaguars, LA Chargers, and Denver Broncos. Texans somewhat considered. I just think there's too many holes in that team. So these are the teams. I got to pick 2 of these teams. We'll get to that video. We got to do NFC, the same exact video for the NFC. And then we get to the playoffs, who gets in, round by round predictions, and Super Bowl predictions. That is all in one video. So really there's 3 total videos of these AFC, NFC, then the entire playoff Super Bowl. So hopefully you can join us for the rest of that. Hopefully you can join us for in-season coverage. We're going to have plenty of it. Please click that notification button. Click that subscribe button. That's going to do it for this one, though. Thanks, everyone, for the support. It's been awesome. Thanks for watching this video. Goodbye.